Nancy Pelosi proving once again how out of touch she really and truly is. I mean, she's out there warning of dire consequences from the Republican tax cuts. She's actually calling them unpatriotic. I kid you not. Here we go.
If what you're doing is cutting the taxes at the high end and therefore not being allowed to invest in the future, you're doing a grave disservice to our country. It's unpatriotic.
It's unpatriotic. Oh, and you know, and we don't. Do we have the heckler there as well? That she got a little bit into it with a heckler there who said, you know, hey, aren't you worth hundreds of millions of dollars? Well, I guess the big question here is it really unpatriotic to keep the money that you have earned? I mean, oh, we do have the heckler. Let's go to it right now. Someone in the audience was criticizing her for some of those crumbs comments.
Most people are not in deadening poverty, but some are. But most people have to struggle to make ends meet. So, no, we're not talking about that.
So here's the reality. Not only is she totally out of touch, she's fighting with many right now, including big Democratic financial donors who say she has put forward a losing battle right now. Don't forget, not one single Democrat voted for tax reform. Now, the most recent generic ballot polls show Democrats only have a roughly 8 percentage point lead over Republicans compared with 13 points the day after Congress approved the law. Joining me right now to look at where this is all heading, RNC national spokeswoman Kayleigh McEnany and Fox News contributor Jessica Tarlov. Okay, Jessica, I'm starting with you because I think she needs a little help, and I'm wondering if you can provide it here, because I'll tell you one thing, $1,000 to most Americans, I mean, unless you've got hundreds of millions of dollars like Nancy Pelosi, is real money.
Oh, it absolutely is real money, and we've had multiple conversations about this, and it was certainly not how I would message it. We'll say for the record that unpatriotic was a suggestion from the audience. It clearly was not in her prepared remarks. But I would like to draw our attention to a new Morning Consult poll that shows that only 25% of Americans have noticed a bump in their paycheck, and those Americans are ones earning more money. 40% of those over 100 grand say they've seen an uptick, but only 16% of those under 50 grand. Donald Trump, who I believe has a few dollars in his bank account as well, went out there and said that he was going to be helping those that need it most. He's helping corporations, and they better let it trickle down. Make sure that you help people whose individual rates should have been slashed by more than that.
All right.
If you want to do well.
I'll give you that. He's helping corporations, but let's not forget, I mean, corporations are
if the shareholders pass it on. But this has been a problem. We had record corporate profits under Barack Obama, and they didn't pass it down.
But they have already, Kayleigh, come out and announced bonuses and wage increases and better maternity benefits at Walmart, for example. I mean, it's up to us as well to hold them accountable and to make sure that they do pass it along. And I think the president can make that message loud and clear as well.
Absolutely, and that's already happening. You've had more than 370 companies giving extra benefits to their employees in the forms of higher wages or bonuses. Not only that, it is a fact that 91% of Americans are seeing a tax deduction and a paycheck increase. That is a fact. People are seeing it. It is in their paycheck. And for Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats to engage in this out-of-touch elitism, saying it's unpatriotic to give people more of their money, that's a losing argument, a losing one. You will not win the midterms. Our internal polling at the RNC shows that by a margin of 8% in our battleground states, people are seeing a net benefit from tax cuts. That's our internal data.
But Jessica's saying it's not enough, right? Jessica, you would have liked to see more in the way of tax cuts. I would point out
on the individual level.
Right, on the individual level, you know, one of the things that Nancy Pelosi said there last night as well was that, you know, it's the same old, same old. It's a tax cut for the wealthy. It's tax cuts for high earners. And I would just point out that talking point needs to get lost pretty quickly, because it's just plain old wrong. I mean, this is not a tax cut that's disproportionate to the wealthy in terms of earners. In fact, in California and New York and New Jersey and Connecticut, where a lot of very wealthy individuals are, where a lot of tax revenue, I mean, California and New York contribute 1/4 of our GDP. I mean, these are high income areas, yet people there will pay more money.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why our Congress people voted against this. Bill. You know, we live here in New York.
Right.
Well, not Kayleigh. I don't think Kayleigh's here anymore.
My point is that talking point about how, the Wall Street, it's not right.
No, what is right about it is to talk about the disproportionate benefit to corporations and to the wealthy. I appreciate Kayleigh's data from the internal RNC polling, but I'd love her to respond to the Morning Consult poll, which is showing the people who are earning over 100 grand are seeing more benefit than those under 50 grand. And I know you'll say, oh, well, maybe this is how it should be. On some level, I don't know if you're earning under 50 grand, you're getting more help from the government, probably.
Well, don't forget, half the country doesn't even pay
taxes, et cetera. But this was messaged as something that was going to lift up the middle and lower classes.
Let Kayleigh respond to that.
Right, it absolutely has. First of all, your polling is depending on people identifying in their paycheck that it has gone up because of tax cuts. So that takes a messaging leap there to understand that that benefit's not coming from your employer, it's coming from the federal government in the form of lower taxation. But the fact is, it's been estimated by the left-leaning Tax Policy Foundation that 80% get a tax cut. I mean, that is a fact. They're seeing it. My dad runs a small business. All 150 of his employees saw a tax cut, and he noted that in a letter to them. So employers need to note this to their employees that this is happening.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Kayleigh, Jessica, thank you so much.